Hello guys, today I am cooking my lima bean soup, and what I've got here is the Camellia brand. It's the best. I don't use anything but their beans, and I like the large limas, and I make what I call a lima bean soup. It's actually kind of like red beans and rice, but it's a little bit soupier and a little bit more tasty to me. But as you can see, I've cut the tasso up into little chunks. You don't have to cut it up. You can put it whole in there just for seasoning. I like to eat the tasso, so I just put it in there and let it cook through. A little cheater, white bean seasoning mix, Zatarans. Make a good product. It's got little peppers and stuff and vegetables cut up very, very small, and you don't have to go through the hassle of doing veggies, having to cut a lot of veggies, and it's a real good product. Of course, you got to put a little twang in it. Always add that to my pot. You see, you got them rolling here. I add a little bit of that crawfish seasoning. That's a Louisiana brand, and that just gives the whole house a nice smell of almost like you're cooking crawfish or boiling shrimp or something. It kind of makes it more appealing for me while I'm cooking. But I use a large pot, and like I said, the camellias, I use a bag and a half for us, for our size family. So, and I got a few other little things I use. I got some garlic juice, onion juice, and some other pepper seasons we'll see here in just a few minutes. It's kind of like my little secret throw together. And then there's one other ingredient I'm going to tell y'all about in a minute that tops it off and makes it just the best. Alright, we've been cooking on the beans here for, I've had them on a boil for about 30-40 minutes. And you can boil them, as long as you stir them, you keep plenty of water on them, you're fine. I like my beans to stay, most of them stay whole. If you overcook them, they're going to become mushy. And I don't like having a bunch of mush. I want to be able to actually serve it on rice, nice looking beans. So I'm gonna cook them, and I'm cook for probably about another 15 minutes like this. But what I am going to do is we're going to go ahead and add this tasso. I love tasso. It has a great smell. It's a good thing to season food with. It's edible. Great Cajun additive for beans. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to stir it around a little bit. Now we really got some seasoning going on up in this pot. So to recap everything, pretty much what I've done is 2 bags of the camellia. Actually 1.5. I could put 2 in there and made a huge pot, but 1.5 feeds several people as much as they want. Done with the tasso, a little cheater, again your white bean seasoning mix. Now I took this out of the box just to show you guys what it looks like. It's some seasoning, and then this also has some little peppers and onions and different stuff. Pretty good. Then of course got some garlic powder. I like garlic. I like the smell of it. I like the taste of it. So we're gonna put a little bit in there. Yeah, I'm gonna put some good garlic taste in there. So put some of that. Now I've also got a few other things I add. One of them is a Nero chili pepper. It's a very good pepper. Actually, I gotta get some more out of my pantry. I'm running low on that one. But, that is a great pepper to cook with. I keep a good supply of it here at the house. But it's a Nero pepper, and it's very good. And then also, of course, everybody likes to put a little twang on their beans, whether it be red beans, lima beans, or navy beans, whatever you're cooking. Some people like it real hot. Here's some stuff that's pretty good I found. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is the best that I've ever had and I've ever used. I always go looking for Melinda's. It's great habanero flavor. Got a little bite that goes away real quick. And if you like a little sweeter taste, you can try some of these other brands, like this one here. It's Island Caribbean, some lizard on it. But anyway, it's got a little sweet and then a little burn at the back end. This is something a friend of mine gave me at metal detects with me. He claims this is some real good stuff. You can see I've tried a little bit on my beans before. It's not bad. And then, of course, LSU Tigers. It's a bad subject right now since we just lost to Alabama. But the boys did good. I'm proud of them. Good defense, and held them down 3 quarters from even scoring on us. So that was a big achievement. Having to lose our coach and get a new coach. And then we got Tony's Saturday. I eat on everything except cereal and oatmeal. And I'm not joking. This is a very addicting concoction here. If you don't have Tony Sachets in your town, you can tell your grocer to get it, because you got to have it. Now, I will say, I'm very careful with the thyme, but I do use a little thyme when I'm cooking. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit right now. And what I do is I just get a few pinches out of there. And I just put that in there like that. There we go. That's going to be good. Usually I'm doing relic videos, but I'm going to do this for my kids, so when I'm long gone, they can do the white bean, lima bean soup. So anyway, oh, and I was talking about that little secret ingredient. It's not really a secret, but it's gumbo mix, the gumbo base. And all this is powdered gumbo. And if you're going to make a gumbo, you use it. And it's basically like a roux with some spices in it, which you can also just get a roux mix if you want to use a roux mix. This is instant roux. Now, I do make real roux when I'm making gumbo. I do not make these. This is just for my beans. Like I said, a little cheater, get you there quick. Manhattan, long grain rice, always, no substitute on that. And believe me, I can tell the difference. You don't have Manhattan rice, you're wasting your time. So we'll get back with y'all in a few minutes. We'll stir this pot a little bit more. We'll let it get good and soft. And that tasso's in there now, doing this thing. So we're gonna let them cook. And I'll be back with y'all, and I'll show you how to add the water ratio to your gumbo base. And the gumbo is just going to give it more flavor and give it even a more of a twang of it. Like, it's delicious. That's all I can tell you. It's simply delicious. But you do want to make sure you keep water on your beans, and don't run your pot down too low, and don't squash them. If you squash them, it's over. You got to start over. So I'm going to wash up this little cutting tray, and then we're going to get out our next meat ingredient, which is going to be Louisiana andouille. And I'll explain to you what andouille is in just a minute. All right, we're back. The beans have been cooking for about 15 more minutes. Got some andouille here. Okay, this is boudins. Oh, look here. great in gumbo. Didn't notice that, but it's a pork like ham, almost like ham, and it's pork, it's seasoned, and man, I'll tell you something. This stuff's delicious. It's not sausage. It's not sausage. You can see it more of a ham texture to it, but it is pork, and you gotta have it in red beans and in white beans, whatever you're cooking. The Lima beans today. So we're gonna cut this up in just a second. First of all, the chef, I gotta have me something cold to drink while I'm cooking this stuff. And you see I got a Beta beer glass here from one of my Beta friends. But he's gonna be mad at me, but I'm gonna open an IBC here. And the only reason I'm doing that is because they did not have any of the Beta root beer at the store this morning. I love Beta root beer. It's the best. So second best is this IBC. You gotta let that foam go down, boy. Good root beer foams up, and you actually literally gotta wait a few minutes before you can even drink it, unless you like sipping on the foam, which I do. Oh man, tastes like vanilla ice cream almost. Ooh, that's good. Sassy bon. All right, I'm gonna cut this up, and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like, and we're gonna add it to the pot. So that'll be next. All right, now we're gonna cut the andouille up, and I got a few ways that I do this. You can cut it into whole chunks. You can cut it in half chunks, which I call half moon, or you can do quarters. Quarters will ensure that everybody gets a bite of it, just about every spoonful of your lima bean soup. Now, in saying that, my wife's not real crazy about andouille, so she likes me to cut it in either whole or half chunks. But today we're doing it my way, and I'm gonna cut some different here. You can take them, stack them, go back down, make sure you got a good sharp fillet knife, which I do. I've been having this knife since I've been married, just about 30 years, and it's been a good one. Keep it sharp though. So what we ended up with is these little quarter chunks, which are perfect. So I'm gonna continue cutting this stuff up, and we're gonna add it in the pot, because you want to make sure you give everything time to cook and simmer, and let all the ingredients get a good blend in your beans. So give me a few minutes and we'll be right back at you. Okay, back at you. Before we cut this up, I'm gonna do one thing. We're gonna add this thyme. It's time to add the white bean seasoning mix. I got me a little mixer here, and we're gonna pour it in there, and we're gonna mix it up as we go. I go real slow with this. Usually I'm not holding a camera in my hand, but I'll take and whisk it while I'm pouring it in there to make sure there's no clumping at all. Nothing worse than getting clumped seasoning in your beans, and it will do it. So, and like I said, if you have to add water, which you will, it's going to boil down. I'm cooking with about a 20-quart pot right now. You want to add water, add it hot out the tap. Don't play around with cool water and get your mix too cool. So we're gonna put a little bit more of that in there and whisk her up. Now you want to be careful with your beans also. You don't want to tear them, shred them up. Like I said, I like to see the whole beans. Now I do like some of them to get about 50-50, you know, because that kind of adds to the flavor when you got the beans whole and smushed up and made in there. It's just like a soup. That's why I call it my soup, my lima bean soup. So I'm gonna finish adding this seasoning in here, and then we'll continue on. Okay, we're back at you, and we're gonna go ahead and add our andouille into the pot. Whew, that's a lot of andouille. My God, there'll be some hungry people around here tonight. There better be. Get in there, boy. There we go. That last piece didn't want to get in there. But here we go. Now, we're starting to see a lot of different meats in there, and seasonings and spices. And like I said, you can cut fresh vegetables and it probably would taste a little bit better. But I'm cooking it the way I cook it, where I can cook it, get it going, get the pot going, let it simmer, and about an hour and a half, I ain't got to do nothing else. So it's just going to be great. So we're gonna have some good lima beans here in just a little while. And we're also going to add some gumbo mix base. But this is where you got to be careful, because you got to add some hot water to your pot, because you don't want, this is going to thicken it. You got to understand, all this is a thickener. It's basically flour base. So it's going to be like a thickener, just like a roux. And we're just going to add a little bit in there just to get it. I don't want it thick. I just want it almost creamy. So anyway, we'll do that here in just a few minutes. Okay, guys, the beans have been cooking for about another 30 minutes. Now they're simmering. No more boiling. Yeah, a little bit of rolling there, but not bad. We're letting them simmer now. And you notice my pot's got a lot more stock in it now, so now is the time to add the gumbo base. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to whisk this stuff in here, and we're going to get it going. So we'll be right back at you. Okay, got the gumbo base in. Had to whisk it as I put it in, because if you don't, like I said, you'll have it clumping. What I'm doing now is putting a little bit of the Nero in. And we're going to stir that up. And then she's almost ready just to simmer. And that means low heat, a lid on top. And you can also taste it. Taste a little bit with a spoon and make sure that you got your seasonings are right and everything tastes perfect like you want it to. And some people may like less seasoning, some people may like more seasoning, but I pretty much got it down to what my family likes. And we'll cook the rice next. The rice, all I can say is we do use Manhattan. That's the only rice we use, and it's always 2 to 1. So you got 2 cups to 1 cup of rice. You can't go wrong. 2 to 1, 2 to 1. Bring it to a boil. Bring your water to a boil. Then add the rice, a pinch of salt. Let it boil for about 2 or 3 minutes. Cut the boil off, put the lid on, and let the magic happen. 15-20 minutes later, you got some of the best, fluffiest rice you ever had. So that'll be our last step. All right, the beans have been cooking for a good another hour or so, and it is ready. Looking great. A little taste sample. My wife's helping me with the rice. Huh, Michelle? Mm-hmm. So, like I said, guys, 2 to 1. We got our special little rice cup here, and that's a perfect pot of rice about this size right here. So we are ready. We'll be serving it up. Oh yeah, white rice is coming up fluffy. About another 3 or 4 minutes, and we're gonna have some very good rice to go with our All right, and now we have the finished product. As I said, little Tony's to taste. And there you go, my lima bean soup. And buddy, let me tell you, this won't be the first bowl. Hope everybody enjoyed the film, and now you can make my style lima bean soup.